Hey class, I just wanted to give you some tips about editing your photographs in preparation for the submission of Project 1. I have a student drawing here from my in-person class, and it's, oriented incorrectly. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my edit features in my phone and click the crop button. I can then rotate it to get it correctly oriented. I can use these little handles on the side to then crop it so I get rid of any, erroneous or irrelevant background information. Hopefully the picture's pretty straight on, which it is. If not, you can adjust some of the warping and the skewing, but I would keep that to a minimum and try to get your drawing, the original photograph, nice and flat. So once that's cropped, you can hit done. If I can get it to work. Come on. There we go. Now it's done and ready here. Now I can also go in and adjust some of the light. It's hard for you to maybe see on the screen here, but it's a little bit darker over here, and it's a little dim. So I'm going to go back into my settings here. Avoid the filters, but you can go to the adjust, and I can brighten up the exposure a little bit. You can see it'll drop way down. I can bring it up just a little bit. I recommend not going too far because it will, I think I've got it at like 25 now. If you go up way high to 100, it totally wipes it out. So, stay in that, 20 or below range, 25 or below range until it looks good. The goal is to make it look more like the original drawing and not so over blasted that it becomes no longer recognizable. The brilliance can sometimes be a handy tool if you have it on your phone that can kind of help like even out some of the, if like one corner is in shadow or not. That can be a helpful tool to play around with and see if that works. Highlights and shadows can be handy too if you need to work just specifically with highlights or shadows. And then the contrast tool can add a little bit more contrast or remove it. But again, don't overdo it in these settings. Just enough to make it look a little better. And then once you're ready, you can hit done again. And now we have a pretty good image here. Let's see if it will show up better. Not really, a little bit. That's ready to submit. Notice it's well cropped. The light's a little bit better. Now we can include this in our portfolios and in our critique submissions. All right, folks, hopefully that was a little bit helpful. If you want more tutorials on this, there's a lot of great stuff online you can search for, or I'm happy to chat with you one-on-one if you want some help with getting your images ready. Okay, thanks, folks. Talk to you later.